May 31st is World No Tobacco Day. Here at home, the anti-smoking campaign picks up as Filipinos become more aware of the evils of this addiction. But what about those who refuse to kick the habit? Graphic warnings on cigarette packages may just change their minds. Claire Saldran has this report.
Will seeing this on your cigarette pack make you want to smoke?
I don't think so. I've seen these packs abroad and it didn't actually change anything.
The label doesn't affect the decision I made. I'm an adult, so I can choose what I want to.
Definitely, I will stop. I will stop. I have hypertension. I'm going to stop smoking.
Dr. Maricar Limpin of the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control Alliance Philippines says a survey shows 90% of smokers are aware of the harmful effects of cigarette smoking, but have no full understanding of the diseases it can bring.
Smoking can cause them diseases, can harm them, but when asked if they really have an idea of what type of harm, they don't really have a good idea of what harm will be brought about by smoking.
FCAP noted 28% of the Philippine population is into cigarette smoking. That is roughly 17.3 million people. The steep number can be partially blamed on those who pick up the unhealthy habit at a young age. A global youth tobacco survey shows 70% of smokers in the Philippines started lighting up between the ages of 13 and 15.
You know, people, when you're very young, you feel like you are invincible. Nothing can happen to you. So at that particular time, they usually start already smoking. The problem is once they start smoking, they get addicted. This is something that they really do not know. That it is addictive, and once they start, they will continue to look for cigarettes.
In December of 2012, the Sin Tax Law was passed. Its goals to increase government revenue and to make cigarettes and alcohol less accessible to smokers and the youth by fixing their prices at exorbitant, relatively unreasonable levels. So far, the Sin Tax Law has proven effective in raising revenue, but there are no direct studies to show if cigarette smoking prevalence in the country has decreased. Limpin, however, says that since the law took effect, the number of cigarettes pulled out by tobacco manufacturing companies from the market decreased.
Higher demand means greater removal. Lower demand, lower removal. And the removals showed that there was around 16% reduction in the removals. So we can actually translate that as a 16% reduction in tobacco consumption.
But why the low and slow decrease of cigarette smoking incidents in the Philippines? Dr. Limpin enumerates factors. In the Philippines, cigarette packs have printed text warnings. But the World Health Organization had thorough studies saying time and again text warnings are not as effective as imagery picture warnings. In 2007, Senator Pia Cayetano filed the Graphic Health Warning Bill, which will require tobacco companies to print on cigarette packs visuals of diseases and organ disfiguration that can result from cigarette smoking. The bill is still pending in the Senate. While some tobacco firms have expressed apprehensions over the bill, others have agreed to support the measure but asked to be given a reasonable transition period. In Asia, Singapore, Thailand, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, and India have put graphic health warnings on their local cigarette packs. Since they did so, the number of smokers in these countries has significantly decreased. But how did these nations do it? Part 2 of this report tomorrow.